Hello everybody, welcome to another reaction video. Before you complain or whatever, fan is on full blast because it's super hot out right now, so I have to have it on, sorry. So if you hear any noises, it's that one. So I'm going to react to another critical drinker, well, Star Wars related thing, the Acolyte episode 3. I'm done, and so is Star Wars. Well, for those who have seen my previous reviews and my opinions about Star, you know about my opinions about Disney Star Wars. I identify myself as a former Star Wars fan. Star Wars, how should we say it, has been so and popped around by Disney right now that I'm kinda unaffected what they're doing nowadays. It just, man, it's such a tragic fate if you think about it. Let's be honest, it's a tragic poetic tale in sort of way for such a innovative and original almost and idea from George Lucas world building mind, and it just complete. Maybe I should turn it off. So now it's off. It was making way too much noises. Where was I? Yeah, it's such a tragic fate that has happened to Star Wars. It just they can do whatever they want nowadays with Star Wars. In a way, I don't feel I'm what do you call it, empathetic to whatever happens to Star Wars nowadays. I used to be like fucking mad, raging, like screaming almost. Now, yeah, I can talk about it, but I don't feel anything. In a way, I'm also happy to see that at least I'm not alone anymore. Like hundreds of thousands of people actually starting to like push back against this sort of absolute weird fucking shit that's going on with Star Wars, especially under Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know what kind of dark maybe not even dark magic, like abysmal magic is keeping her at that place to be charge of Star Wars when when all of this is happening. I just do not know. I do not know. And then I used to have faith in, for example, Dave Filoni. I used to have, because he was actually pretty good with the Clone Wars and that sort of thing. But nowadays, it feels like he has gone over to Kathleen Kennedy. Like, why aren't you seeing the fans are starting to push against this? So unfortunately, my faith in Dave Filoni has spiraling down. And it just, to me, Star Wars is dead, especially Disney Star Wars. It has nothing to do with Star Wars, absolutely nothing. Ever since George Lucas pushed that fucking pen on the paper, it died to me. I will never recognize Disney as the owner of Star Wars. I will never recognize them to be legitimate, how should you say it, making Star Wars. It's just, no, you're not. You have murdered Star Wars. It's dead. Like, you can do whatever you want nowadays. I don't care. It's dead. And you can see it in children as well, like with toys and that sort of thing. They're not buying Star Wars merchandise no matter what the series or movie they're coming from. They just don't care. They just, Star Wars, meh, who cares? I rather want to go to the gaming store and just buy myself a Fortnite pass or something like that. Like, they don't care anymore, and I'm so happy in a way, because it's a sad way, but I'm happy also because it shows that Disney has fucked up Star Wars in such an incredible way that they are just refusing to acknowledge they have done everything they've done was a mistake. So when it comes to the Acolyte, have I seen it? No. Why would I have seen like a few clips and some reviews about it, and if I'm If it's just, what are they doing? I mean, we are living in a different world, absolutely. I mean, if the entertainment is gonna be like this, we saw it with Dragon Age a couple of days ago, like the total changing in art style and tone and dialogues, and just the way they had developed a game nowadays. Like, I just no. Instead, I went on went on World of Warship and started to play that a little bit, because I haven't played that one in like maybe a year or two. I was like, oh, this is, oh, I'm so happy to be playing this again, and I got my waifu Aegir. So anyway, let's see what Critical Drinker has to say about this. I can imagine it's gonna be quite critical and fun in a way.
Power of one.
Yes, yes.
Power of two. The power of many.
Yeah, exactly how it is nowadays.
Yes.
Episode 3 of The Acolyte was, without a doubt, one of the most devastatingly embarrassing spectacles I think I've ever witnessed on TV. 40 solid minutes of relentless, unadulterated, unapologetic, unaware cringe, distilled down to its purest and most toxic form. A show made by people who seem to despise not just Star Wars, but the very concept of filmmaking and storytelling in general. It's quite literally anti-entertainment made by anti-geniuses, and I do believe it may have broken what's left of the Star Wars fandom forever. Anyway, there's an extra large bottle of toilet duck with my name on it, so let's get this over with as quickly as possible. The episode begins 16 years before the main events of the show, on the peaceful planet of whatever stupid name the writers concocted this time, and we get to see strong female character and strong female antagonist when they were still little kids. I know this because of the subtle visual cues, like them.
When it comes to Star Wars and everything, I'm so sick and tired of children. Like Mandalorian, like the first 3 episodes were absolutely amazing. I'm sorry if I'm looking away, because I'm just noticing someone parking, but they were moving away. What was it? Yeah, Mandalorian first 3 episodes absolutely amazing. Some of the episodes after were pretty good, but I'm so sick and tired of children being around this sort of grown-up stuff. Like, do you see like a soldier in Ukraine having carrying around an infant on the battlefield? Like, yeah, believable as hell. And it's you can definitely have children, like child actors, that sort of thing, but they have to be implemented in the right goddamn moment and the right goddamn time. And if you're gonna have them all the time in this sort of situation, no. Like Jurassic Park in slash world, like Jurassic Park is how should I say it, especially the first one, when it comes to children, at least that one makes sense. The second one with that teenager, I think it was, slightly believable, but the third one was starting to go on the edge. But then the Jurassic World was just, now they're just making up nonsense, and nonsense it was, holy shit. So why does it have to be Star Wars? Why did it have to happen to Star Wars?
Them still having the exact same hairstyle they'll have 16 years later. Because as we all know, everyone chooses to stay exactly the same forever.
Yeah, if I'm gonna show you an image of like what, 10 years ago, possibly even, I think I have the run, maybe I should bring it out, when I have like an emo hair, like a long hair. I wasn't emo, but I did have that, like anime kinda emo kinda style, hairstyle I used to have like 15 years ago. So yeah, I still have a long hair right now, but I saved it for a year, maybe a year right now. Possibly going to do it a little bit more. But other than that, always have short hair, like almost every time.
Anyway, strong female character and strong female antagonist live with their two mums in a coven of communist lesbian space witches that have chosen to isolate themselves from the rest of the Republic because...
I also wanna point out, like, I don't understand why, in a way, maybe not strict direct communist messages when is trending among mainstream medias. I don't know why. Like, it's not, as I said, not directly communist, but it kind of like showcasing, you know, the message of communism in a positive way. But in reality, yeah, that ideology is fucking dangerous. Like, like that certain one in that popped up in 1930s Germany.
The galaxy doesn't tolerate women like them. Oh my goodness, I wonder what that could possibly be a reference to. The writing...
Yeah, because, you know, a galaxy with thousands of planets, billions, maybe even trillions of populations across the core worlds and sort of thing. Yeah, in an advanced society, yeah, sure. Yeah. I can imagine they would be persecuted, and it's so stupid.
Is so subtle on this show, you see, I just can't make out what they're driving at. Also, this is just a crazy thought on my part, but if you really want to remain hidden from the rest of the galaxy, maybe don't build your communist lesbian space witch community in a gigantic fortress on top of a mountain that's so big it can probably get seen from space.
Are you dumb or something?
Anyway, this is where the show tries its hand at character development, and I use that word about as loosely as I'd use the term fine dining to describe a pot noodle. The two strong female twins are due to go through a big ceremony to turn them into full-on witches because they were created without a father using the power of the Force. Sorry, the thread. But don't worry, we'll get into that soon enough. Believe that! But strong female character dreams of...
It's kind of funny because one of the big defending things that I've seen from, especially from this episode, maybe not this episode, but this series, about that there are multiple other cultures and groups out there that call the Force different things and they utilize it in different way. That has also been around in the Legacy and the expanded universe stuff, absolutely. Like the Vos, I think they utilize and the Force, I think they were called something else, don't remember, but I'm gonna say every goddamn time they're trying with that stuff, it's boring. Like, it's so generic and boring compared to the Sith and the Jedi and the Grey Jedi, how they utilize it. Everybody else, boring as hell.
Leaving the communist lesbian space witches behind and seeing what else is out there in the galaxy. Strong female antagonist, on the other hand, wants to stay right here and refuses to let her twin leave because she's a psychotic lunatic. I wonder if this is going to have repercussions later. So it's time for us to meet their mums. Strong female character number 4 and strong female character number 5, each of whom have slightly different perspectives on how to...
When it comes to females, here's the thing. If you've seen females in, for example, in the armed forces, yeah, they are tough. Many of them are really tough, but they're also very gentle. But anyway, so yeah, it's not. I mean, there's been badass women in Star Wars before Disney. So there's no that argument that women has never been represented in Star Wars. Or that's it's all bullshit. It's just absolutely crap. That just spewing out their mouth when they speak about that sort of when they're trying to argument that sort of topic. It's stupid. And do I care if they are overweight or not? Yeah, because if you're gonna be a Jedi, I don't believe that an overweight would be able to do flips and that sort of thing. I'm sorry. And the perfect kind of female I can see who's like fit for it all would be someone like, I don't know, Mary Jade, who's actually very fit to do that sort of thing. Like, fitness equals agility, and agility equals really good combat abilities. So would I care if they would have a preference, like a sexual preference, like a lesbian, okay, whatever? No, I don't. That sort of thing I don't care about. I just don't care about that. They can be whatever they want to be, but they have to be believable. And so far, whatever Disney has done with Star Wars, it's not believable, it's laughable, it's just, what is going on? What are you doing? Who is this for, even?
To raise their strong female twins. Strong female character number 5 believes in discipline, caution, and suspicion of outsiders, while strong female character number 4 is more indulgent and free-thinking. And apparently she gets the last word on how they're raised because she created them with the power of the thread.
I carried them. I created them.
Liar, your pants on fire.
Now, you might have thought that Anakin...
Good. Are they gonna implement that sort of debate in Star Wars now? Okay, abortion debate coming up.
was the only example of immaculate conception in Star Wars, but you'd be wrong, you bigot, because it turns out that...
But in the pre-Disney lore... If I remember, what was Anakin's mother called him again? Shay or something like that? Didn't she mention, yeah, there is a father to Anakin, he's just gone. Gone a long time ago, that sort of thing. But then, I think it was Disney, I don't remember this, but I think it was Disney who created that idea that Anakin was created by Palpatine. Because he learned that creating life from Plagueis, which also they destroyed that actually really good comic. If you read the Darth Plagueis comic, it was actually pretty good. Then Disney decanonized it for some fucking reason, and then they created that thing that Anakin is Palpatine's child. Actually, like. What? My brain cells are dying.
Not one, but two strong female characters got there like 100 years earlier. Why do I get Timeless Children and Star Trek Discovery vibes from all of this? Also, we might as well get this thread bullshit out of the way. So, like, you know how the Force has been one of the defining elements of Star Wars for almost 50 years, referenced in every single movie, game and TV show ever made? Well, it turns out we were all wrong, because according to the lesbian communist space witches, the real nature of it is a thread that binds all living things together. It's not a power that can be controlled or used as a weapon like those mean stinky Jedi do. Also, it's funny because literally seconds later, strong female character number 4 actually does use the thread as a weapon.
How embarrassing.
And the more I think about that, the more it seems like a perfect metaphor for people just like this, claiming one thing and then doing the exact opposite without ever acknowledging their own hypocrisy. Jesus, imagine still being a Star Wars fan at this point and having to reconcile all these conflicting bullshit ideas in your heads.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, it's time for one of the most cringe-inducing scenes in all of Star Wars, and that's really saying something at this point.
As well.
Power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
When I saw this, I actually had to pause the playback, walk away, and really just let it sink in. This is a thing that actually got made. Real functioning adults wrote, performed, edited, and scored this, and at no point in the process did anyone raise their hands and say, I think this might be a bad idea, guys. This is exactly what happens when you take people who consider this to be thought-provoking art and put them in charge of a $200 million Star Wars show. Truly, George Lucas must be so proud of what they've accomplished with his baby. Anyway.
I haven't heard anything from George Lucas. there probably is something like he's maybe criticizing, but if I was the one, that's why when I create my own worlds and so I'm like, no, I'm not going to sell it off. Hell no, it's gonna stay in the family as long as possible. I don't know how I would feel about this if I was George Lucas. I would be so depressed in sort of way. Absolutely. I mean, with all the money, he could just don't care about all this sort of things. But he has said that that comment about white slavers and that sort of thing. So it just, if he sees this, like, does he really not regret selling Star Wars? I think he's past the kind of like the line that I have, like, yeah, it's sad, it happened, it's laughable, but I couldn't care anymore. In sort of way.
Luckily for us, the ceremony gets interrupted when the mean stinky Jedi show up to kidnap the strong female twins because they think they could be powerful in the Force or something. You know, it's funny how there seems to be this real concerted effort by Disney to paint the Jedi in the worst possible light so that they can be replaced with something more modern. Anyway, strong female character number 5 doesn't appreciate this much and uses the thread as a weapon, even though it totally isn't a weapon according to them, to threaten token white guy with annihilation. Because really, who else out of this extremely diverse group of Jedi could she possibly choose as her victim? Anyway, eventually strong female Jedi is able to calm things down, and Squid Guy tries to win strong female character over to his side by handing her a lightsaber to play with.
Are you dumb or something?
Are you out of your fucking mind? She's a small child, and this is one of the deadliest weapons in the galaxy. Is this really how you want to attract someone to your cause? Like, what if she accidentally ignites it and cuts her own head off? Fucking mission.
Like, if the one thing that actually kind of like, as a child, as I remember it, that make the Jedi and the Sith very attractive in sort of way, like, you know what, you wanted to be one. It's not just the lightsabers. It was the Force itself. Like how you could train and use it, how you could learn from it and learn different sort of powers. That was way more attractive as a child, to just be able to do sort of things that were, created stuff. But lightsabers, yeah, they were cool, but they were also, a weapon. Like, I know, even as a child, I was like, yeah, I would probably kill myself with that weapon very fast if I didn't train to use one. Like, yeah, it just... Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
Failed right there, you dick. Anyway, so the Jedi's plan is to test the strong female twins to see if they've got Force potential, so the communist lesbian space witches hatch the genius plan for them to intentionally fail the test so they'll be left alone.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
But yet I can sense the Force in others, like... And all they need is a blood test, right? The midichlorians, like, they only need a blood test. Like, what is going on?
Oh, 4-dimensional quantum mega chess going on there, ladies. Well done. Unfortunately, it all goes wrong when strong female character gets found out in a matter of seconds and decides to just pass the test anyway. So strong female antagonist does the smart thing and locks her in her room and then sets her journal on fire in the middle of a stone hallway in a fortress that's made predominantly of stone. I mention the fact that it's made of stone so often because the fire quickly spreads and then engulfs the entire fortress, because apparently in this universe stone is more combustible than a 1990s shell suit. Oh yeah, and the communist lesbian space witches all die from boredom or something. Then strong female antagonist falls into a pit and strong female character gets rescued by Squid Game guy who agrees to take her to Coruscant and train her as a Jedi. But wouldn't you know it, strong female antagonist actually...
But isn't they look way too old? Just like Yoda said, or what I think what Window whoever, who said that Anakin was too old, was just way too even. Luke Skywalker was too old. Like, they look to be way older than what Anakin was in episode 1. Maybe like a year or two. Oh.
Actually survived and begins her revenge trip. Wow, who could have predicted that when we totally know that she's alive 16 years later? You know, reviewing this episode is kind of an exercise in futility at this point, because really, what is the point anymore in complaining about nonsensical and contradictory writing, the horrendous cinematography, the wooden acting, and the terrible dialogue? Those things are all par for the course in The Acolyte. You almost expect it now. The bigger problem now is that it's honestly difficult to feel much of anything for The Acolyte or Star Wars in general, because I think this show is proof, if you ever needed it, that this is just how things are going to be now. Star Wars isn't going to be saved by anyone. It's not going to go back to the way it was, and it's not going to improve in any meaningful way, because there's no one left with the will or the talent to do it. The Acolyte represents their ultimate vision for this franchise. It's the perfect distillation of everything Disney and the so-called creatives at Lucasfilm want to inject into George Lucas's vision, and they're not going to stop. Kathleen Kennedy recently bemoaned all the criticism that she and women like Leslie Headland have taken for their creative decisions, because the predominantly male fan base just can't seem to recognise their genius. Well,
yeah, I heard about that as well. That must... I know, Asian guys who like Star Wars. I know those with Arab descendants, those with African descents who like Star Wars. And not all white people are the same goddamn culture, or the same goddamn language, or the same goddamn genes. Like, these sort of people are... They are mentally insane. They need to go to a mental hospital. I'm serious. They need to. These are dangerous fucking people to be able to wield any sort of power. It's dangerous.
congratulations, Kathy, because that seems to be a problem that you've gradually solved with every new show and movie that you've produced. If there's no fans left at all, then there's no toxic male fans left either. Genius! So in that respect at least, I guess you've kind of won by default. Congratulations! Star Wars is all yours now. And this here is your prize.
Absolutely, fuck it. Have Star Wars. I don't care anymore. I can criticize whatever you do, but I'm not gonna watch anything. Like I don't care anymore. You can do whatever the fuck you want with Star Wars. You can do this. Go ahead. Why not? I can be criticizing that sort of thing, tell you that this is wrong and that sort of thing, because that's the old good Star Wars that I'm bringing up. I always going to talk about my feelings about Star Wars. I have to, otherwise I'm going to be insane. But when it comes to this new stuff, video games, TV series, movies, whatever, I'm not interested anymore.
An empire of dust. A franchise in ruins. Yeah. And really, I hope it was all worth it. I hope it was worth the billions of dollars you've blown on failed projects over the years. I hope it was worth provoking the contempt and finally the apathy of millions of Star Wars fans that have just chosen to walk away. I hope it was worth it to have a legacy of absolute failure. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it's so sad. Like, yeah, I don't feel anything for new Star Wars, that sort of thing. The old Star Wars is something that I do feel about. I do have some feelings for it, absolutely, like the old Star Wars, the Old Republic and that sort of thing. It's still there, absolutely, but and they are not going to be able to destroy that because they can't. It's out of their hands right now, and you can only create new stuff, which is just baffling bad. So yeah, Critical Drinker is right about everything. Fuck Star Wars. If you haven't left Star Wars, do it now before it's going to hurt you, even hurt you emotionally more. Just do it. Go and play the old Star Wars games. Go and watch the old Star Wars movies and TV series. Go and read the comics. Anything that is not Disney stuff, like pre-Disney Star Wars. There's plenty of stuff to absolutely dwell into the old Star Wars, the good one. So unfortunately, yeah. It's unbelievable. I don't want to live. I don't want to live in this timeline. What is this timeline called, so I can avoid it? Man, Rick, where are you? Oh man. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Go and sub to Critical Drinker. Man, this was depressing. This was actually pretty depressing. In a way, I'm a little bit curious what they're going to do next with Star Wars. Like, that's the one thing that actually kind of like become the new thing about Star Wars, is that I don't care what they do with Star Wars nowadays. Like, they can make the most baffling shit whatever. It's just fun to see people like Critical Drinker just rip it apart. Even though it's such a weird feeling. It's such a... I can't explain how I'm feeling. The only close thing I can get is like, it's so fucking sad, but it's so fun in a way for it to be like this. It's so tragic, but yet it's so unbelievable and fun in sort of way to see it just crashing, just because how bad it is. But it's Star Wars, like my childhood, like it's so weird. But yeah, also the whole feeling that I don't feel anything for it. It's just all the emotions are so weird. The only thing I know is that go ahead, have Star Wars. I don't care what you do about it. I'm just gonna watch and see it burn, and I'm gonna have fun with it. Oh yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Go and sub. Damn, this is depressing.